Hey, thanks for tuning in. My name's Keisha. I'm the founder of Upgraded Mindsets and the host of the Empowering Real Talk podcast. Since you are tuning in, let me tell you, expect unfiltered dialogues on relevant topics designed to help unlock effective personal, professional, and entrepreneurial growth. Through our candid insight and motivating strategies from yours truly, as well as my guests, the Empowering Real Talk podcast will encourage you to implement any necessary steps to activate and achieve greater success on any and every level. Listen, in order for us to grow individually and as a whole, these conversations are necessary. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the Empowering Real Talk podcast. It's available on any streaming platform, including YouTube. I appreciate your support. Let's get it. All right, y'all. If you are watching here on YouTube, then you see I am not here by myself. So I am going to allow my guest the honor of introducing herself. Hello.
Hi. Hello, Keisha. Thank you so much for having me on. My name is Jessica Rowe. I'm an author, motivational speaker, and I just dropped my new podcast like last week. So
Let's go.
I'm excited. I got all kinds of stuff going on here.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I definitely appreciate it, fellow podcaster. I love it. Congratulations to you on that. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about you, Jessica. Tell us a little bit about you, your backstory, and why you are doing what you are doing, sis.
Well, it's kind of a long story, and I'm sure we all got those long
You know
stories, but
it.
they're interesting stories, right? And we
Absolutely.
can learn from each of the stories. You know, some of our stories may be similar, but it's like, oh, I didn't go through that, but
Yep.
I was going through that, or
Come on.
so everybody's story is good to hear. You know,
Mhm.
everybody got a background and things like that.
I
So
agree.
my story originally, it started from going back to school, getting my education. The job I was on, I wasn't feeling it. And
Yeah.
to be fair, I'm gonna push this back, a little bit more,
Go ahead.
because this was like 2010,
Okay. Got you.
2011, things like that. So I've, come a long way since then, but it was just something that I needed. I didn't have a degree. I didn't have the education that the jobs that I was applying for at that time wanted, that they needed. So I'm like, okay, I got all this admin experience. Let me go back and get this degree. Went to multiple schools until I found the one, or so I thought I found the one that I was going to, just thrive from.
Right.
When I went back to school, got all this education, a bachelor's degree, I was just excited. The family was excited, just everything. And so got this degree, nothing happened. No, I got interviews, I got callbacks, but I didn't get the job that they said that you can get when you get this degree, right? So I'm
Mm.
like, what am I not doing? Right? I went back to school. I'm doing even volunteer work in the field of criminal justice that I was studying for. So I was doing volunteer work to help me get, a little bit of experience.
Right.
Nothing. And so it just kind of pushed me into anxiety, depression, and it was horrible. It was just a horrible experience to go through. I had heard of depression, I had heard of anxiety, but I
Yeah.
never experienced it. So to
Right.
experience it, I really understand and feel for those who continuously go through it or who have been through it. I get it. I'm on the,
Yeah.
we on the same page with that, right?
Absolutely.
So I began to have more empathy and understanding of people, instead of just telling people, oh, get over it. You depressed, so what? Some people don't have a home, but you do. I'm like, this is this
Oh,
this this
girl.
that's not it.
No.
So I really had to find my tribe of people, particularly women who were going through the same things, and I
Mm.
found that tribe, and they just really boosted my
I
spirits
love
and
it.
told me about gifts, talents, and skills, how you can break away. What you did is a good thing.
Mhm.
Don't discredit your degree, right? You know what I'm saying? You went there, you studied, you got it. And that took me a long time to
Yeah.
really get to understand that, like, okay, I got this degree. Look at what you learn from it. Look at the takeaways from it. Look at the people that you've met. Look at the instructors and teachers, and the knowledge that
Right.
you gain from it, even though it didn't work out. So they really built my mindset up on that. And within that, they say, you can do a business, right? You did speaking, you did all kinds of things. Take those skills that you already have just in life general and
Yeah.
what you've learned getting out there in the world, take them and kind of bundle them up and start a business, kind of get out there and find yourself, right? Find what are
Mm-hmm.
what your personality is, just kind of find yourself. And so I
Yeah.
did that,
I love
something
it.
is called personal development, right?
Come
I'm like,
on.
oh, okay. It's right, it's personal development. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I thought I had all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I just need to enhance it a little bit more. So I wrote a book about it. I wrote a book about having a new level mindset, a different way
Mm-hmm.
of thinking about myself, right?
Yes.
Just a different way of thinking about myself and who I am and what I've been given by God. Me being possibly chosen to walk this journey, to walk this, even though
Yes.
it wasn't just a straight line. You were supposed to walk this journey so you can be just that light for others, right? Even though it was dark times, but you came out, through the light, and you're able to walk this journey and tell other people about your story. So I put it in a book.
I love it. Hey, let me tell you something, girl. You done gave me chills because you are truly like almost describing my stories. It's so
Mm,
similar, right?
yeah.
And I love that you even touched on the fact that, we all have a story and we do share similarities in our stories, but it still makes our stories individual, right? And also the fact that you touched based on how people try to say, oh, you still got to do what you got to do. You still got to keep going. Like, brush it off, disregarding that. And we are out of that season. We are in the season of really discovering who we are. And even though your season was back then, I love that you have turned around and coming back to help others be able to step into their seasons as well, because that's what it's about. I did that same thing in 2020 because I always was like the unofficial coach, right? The unofficial
Mm,
person that had those conversations with people, encouraging and uplifting. But I wasn't doing that for myself. I wasn't pouring the same support into myself as I was pouring into everybody else. But I had this twisted sense of, oh, I'm going to get my blessings by pouring into everybody else. But that was kind of a restriction for me. So being able to give back, you giving back with the book, me creating, I love New Level Mind because that's why Upgraded Mindsets is my title, because it's upgrading your mind. It's thinking with a new mindset. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's great. Like, how has that helped you, being on that journey, also encouraging, uplifting others? How has that continued to help you on your journey?
Oh wow, it's a powerful thing. I've learned that our minds are the most powerful thing that we have.
Mhm.
It's our greatest asset.
It is.
And it really depends on what you do with it. you know
It is.
and as as an individual, and like being to yourself and having that quiet moment, that solitude, and sitting with yourself. And I know, it may seem foreign to to other people, but let me tell you, it's a process. You have to get there. Some of this stuff, it can't be taught. It's
Mm,
something that you have to sit with and like really understand, like what you're going through,
yeah,
what your body is doing, what your mind is doing, and understanding that we have the capability of healing ourselves.
absolutely,
You
sis.
know what I'm saying?
I
So
ooh,
yeah, it was just like just a light,
yeah.
just came about. And for me, I watched a lot of documentaries. I
Mhm.
think that was something that really helped me. Listen to a lot of documentaries and a lot of motivational speakers, even the ones from back in the day, like
Yeah,
Jim Rohn, Earl Nightingale, and things like that, Les Brown. Listening to them really helped spark that mindset in
yeah.
myself.
I agree. And it does, because like as we begin those personal growth journeys, what I have found is, being a personal transformation coach for women, what I have found is they just really don't have any clue where to start, right? It's so overwhelming. And because it gets overwhelming, they don't do anything, so it's like, I know, I get it, because you're so overwhelmed with what things that you want to do, but you can't do them with those old habits that you've adopted, so that personal growth journey, I want people to really understand that it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
You might not have to start here. You might have to go a little further back, to begin your personal growth journey. Just because somebody might have started here, you might have to go a little further back, and you have to be open-minded. I think just being open-minded to make
Yeah.
those transformational shifts, that accountability, that was one of the biggest things for me, being accountable for the things that I might have passed up, being accountable for opportunities that I might have missed, being accountable for just having a closed mind, and just saying, oh, that's just how I am, and I realized that held me back a lot, because we are supposed to grow every day. We're never too old to make growth moves. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I know that, like, even with you, like with the book, tell us a little bit more about the book. I'm definitely curious to hear a little bit more about it.
Well, the book really it goes through my journey
Mhm.
of how I just even started to build my confidence, how I started to stop doubting myself,
Mhm.
stop procrastinating, and fear is gonna come, but how to overcome the fear. So I
Yeah.
talk about my challenges in the journey of starting entrepreneurship, because
Mm.
the group of women that I found, they told me, they say, you can start this business, you could be an entrepreneur. So I did my research on,
Yeah.
like, what is an entrepreneur, right? I've heard of this. What is it? What is it about? What does it take?
Yeah.
And the more research I did on it, it really just talked about personal growth, personal development, and entrepreneurship. Yes, you can have a great product, you can put it on the market and things like that, but you have to be the one initially
Come on.
to like springboard it, to put it
Yeah.
off, because it can sit in your mind. I tell people, get those ideas out of your mind,
Yes.
notebooks, and get them out here into the world, especially with social media. Because when I started writing my book, it was just Facebook, really.
Yeah.
We have Facebook Live and things like that. So I would encourage people in my book to, hey, push that live button, go live, start talking about things, even if you do it for like 2 minutes.
That
Who
part.
cares about how many people are in a room or how many people are watching?
Mhm.
Somebody is gonna see it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So just come through that fear, feel that fear and push through it anyway. So I
Absolutely.
just talk about my fears, doubts, my procrastination, people who were along with me on the journey, friends, relatives, and things like that. Some good, some where I had to understand, oh well, they're they're supportive, but they don't want to see you grow. You know what I'm
That.
saying?
Woo!
So
Come
I had
on.
to
Come
I
on.
had to understand and learn that. So I put all that in my book. Like little scenarios, in
Yeah.
regards to building your confidence. Like if you just like it's something you want to do, but you self-sabotage, you talk
Self-sabotage.
yourself
Yes.
off or out of it, and it doesn't happen, and then you start to realizing things. So I just really tell people in that book, just go for it.
Hey,
you
I
know
love it.
get in groups, get in crowds. If you don't, it's like some people don't have that support system
Yeah.
as far as family and friends, but you do live in a community. You got community centers,
Yeah.
you got things out there that's happening. Join those community centers and talk to them about what you're doing. If you got a product or service, and say, hey, you know what, can I talk to y'all about something real quick?
Yeah.
And it's not to sell them, but to help you build your
That
confidence
part.
of trying to sell to other people. So
Yes.
we got to start becoming vocal and talk about things
Woo!
that matter, and stop talking about stuff that's just gossip and doesn't truly matter, and stop giving our opinion on stuff we don't know about, and go in the back to the drawing board and start writing out the things that you know about and get out there to the people.
Hey, let me tell you, you done said so much in that, because a lot of times, even going back to like family and friends, like what people don't get is when you are on a personal growth journey, you are going to lose some people, places, and things, right? And
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things, realities that I had to face,
Mhm.
because I have unfortunately lost some people along the way. That doesn't mean I've lost love for them or whatever else, but I was stepping into a new realm of entrepreneurship. And I love that you touch on often the fact that you had to be around other people that were aligned with that as entrepreneurs, because we do have to be around entrepreneurs. Our family and our friends are great, super supportive. If you have that, great. But you still have to build that community outside of that. You still have to step into that fear, overcoming that fear and working through it and saying, I still have to build a tribe of other entrepreneurs because they truly know what you're going through. What's going to happen? You're going to get frustrated with your family and friends because they're not understanding what you're experiencing, starting a business, starting a podcast, thinking about doing a book, something that they are not familiar with. They're not going to be able to provide that unwavering support like someone that has already experienced some of those things. So it's super important, as you said, to build that community, to find your community. I have local community, but I also have online. I started online. I started upgraded mindsets during the pandemic. We were on complete lockdown. So I built my community online first and then came back to my local community, and that worked for me, but just also understanding the personal transformation that had to come along with me, because there were certain things that I was doing that I couldn't do anymore. Certain habits that I was doing that I couldn't do anymore, especially on this journey of transformation. And I call it transformation for me because I have realigned literally my whole life, right? From habits to, from routines day to day, I've rewired all of that. So it's been a complete transformation, but also what I think about. Like you said, you can't talk about drama and gossip if you on a personal growth journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't bring that stuff up. Now, everybody have a little petty in them from time to time, right? I'm not saying that we just got to be, but for you to consistently be involved in conversations that have nothing to do with growth and development, that is a hinder.
Yeah.
Like it's a huge,
Yeah.
huge hinder. Where do you see, like, just from having conversations and speaking, and I know you've been on other platforms, but where do you see the most struggle when it comes to people on personal growth journeys?
Just like you said, moving away from friends and family. That's the struggle right there, because those are the people you're comfortable with.
Yep.
You grew up with. They've been in some of the most personal moments in your life. And starting your business podcast or writing your book, that's a personal moment in your life as
Absolutely.
well. And you want family and friends there. But as you were saying before, you have to, it's a process of learning to break away from them without feeling guilty about it.
Ooh, you
You
hit it,
know,
baby.
we feel guilty, like, oh, I'm leaving them behind, or I'm not, feeling them in, or I share everything with them, but I don't receive nothing back, or maybe I shouldn't share that with them. So that's the most part. I think where we procrastinate, we struggle, we doubt ourselves, because we feel like if they not co-signing on it, then it maybe I don't need to do it. But no, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they are not where you are on your journey. And the thing about doing that is we gotta accept that.
Ooh.
We gotta accept, okay, I'm on this journey, I'm writing this book, I'm starting this podcast, I'm doing this business thing. I have to accept, acknowledge, and understand that my friends and family are not going to be there for me the whole time. Matter of fact, they're not my audience.
Hey.
I'm not trying to sell to them.
Oh, girl, come on.
I'm not selling to them.
Oh
You
my
can't.
God.
And I used to write posts like, you can't build your business on friends and family only.
Yeah, that is
So
a fact.
you can't do that. So I understand that struggle. I understand that fear. I understand wanting to bring everybody with you. Like, MC Hammer did, back in the day.
Right, right.
She took the whole city of Oakland with him, too legit to
Yes,
quit. We own, but it ain't for everybody. And
man.
and you may get into some arguments because some people, friends or family, think that you're neglecting them.
Yep.
And it's like, no, I can't hang out with y'all for Taco Tuesday. I have to be at this seminar. I need to be at this conference. I have an opportunity to go sell my products at this, this site that's coming
Yep.
up. You know what I'm saying? I have different opportunities now, and I want to act on them. So I can't go on that annual girls trip. The $2,500 that I would spend on that, I need to put towards my business.
You better talk about it, sis. Ooh, girl, come on. Listen, I can't stress that enough. Like people, I see people that get frustrated with them because their family and friends are not quote supporting them, right? Whether they're selling a product and a service. And the main thing I say is that your target audience? And it's a comfort thing for people.
Yeah.
It's a comfort thing to want to just, broadcast to your family and friends.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give y'all a quick tip. If you are an entrepreneur or you are trying to become one, you are going to have to make adjustments to your friends list. You are going to have to make adjustments to who is following you and who you're following. Because as you grow your business, and this was one of the hardest things I had to learn. Hey, some people I had to unfriend. My pages are all business related. I don't have personal pages anymore because I am a full-time entrepreneur and I'm going to get it wherever I got to get it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So because I knew that, it was like, man, some of these people got to go. It's nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? So like, either you're going to just want to sell to your family and friends and just keep it as a quote side hustle. If that's what you want to do, more power to you. But if you don't, you're going to have to come to that reality that you are going to have to transform a lot of stuff. And I love how you really broke that down because that is important for people to hear. You're not trying to sell to your family and friends. You're not, and there are things. It was just crazy. Last weekend, I had an event that I had told people for weeks that I was going to go to because I wanted to go. But the day of, business got business. Like it got business wise. And instead of me leaving at 2:00, I didn't leave till almost 6:00, and the event started at 7. And it was like, I'm tired, So it was like, it was one of those sacrifices that I had to make. I didn't feel bad, but I felt bad because I had told people that I was going to come, but I didn't feel bad about my business because my business comes first. I have my self-care, and I definitely want us to touch on that a little bit because I believe that there has to be balance, right? But that balance did not say, oh, okay, I'm going to leave early because I'm just going out to hang out and have a few drinks. I'm big on balancing, especially if you are not a full-time entrepreneur, if you're getting your feet in the water, if you still work as well, if you have a family, I believe that you have to learn how to balance those things instead of just trying to throw stuff in the mix. How has that worked for you, as far as balance?
Yeah, I had to learn that, exactly what you're saying, instead of just trying to throw things here and throw things there. And when, I was first getting started, I was trying to sign up for everything. I was trying to do everything. I didn't want to miss out on nothing. I
Yep.
need to catch up with such and such. I wanted to be like them, and I wanted to do all that stuff. And it's like that burned me out. That seriously burned me out to the point where I had to shut everything down, and I felt bad about it because people are like, well, when is this other book coming out? Are you gonna have some more classes and this and this and that? And I'm like, no, I gotta stop because I know you heard the term solopreneur, right?
Yes, baby.
Solo,
Period.
doing everything by yourself. And I had to understand, okay, Jessica, there's a site called Fiverr you can go to, right? It's gonna take some cherry picking, through because everybody ain't legit. But there's a site that you could go through. I'm not good at email marketing, right? I don't know how to set that stuff up. My genius is speaking, it's motivational. The admin part, I can't do.
Yeah.
right? And it's not a can't do like, oh my goodness. It's like, no, that's not where my time needs to be spent,
That part.
right? So I hire somebody, and this is, I had to learn this.
Yeah.
I had to hire an expert, somebody who was an expertise at writing certain things out for me,
Yeah.
doing my email marketing, doing the covers and things like that for the flyers and stuff like that. I didn't have time to sit and do that because I would be burning myself out and
Come
I
on.
wasn't focusing on the main thing. If I'm trying to put a class together, I need to be focusing on my slides, my PowerPoint
Yeah.
slides, and what I'm going to be saying, not how I'm going to arrange the flyer and things
Right.
like that. I need to hire somebody to do that. So I have to spend a little time, connecting and communicating with them and letting them know what I want and need. And I let them do their work while I do my work. So,
Absolutely.
that helped me balance things out, especially when I was putting on my book signing event. I
Mm-hmm.
had to communicate with somebody that helped draw up the program and things like that and get it printed. And so that means, it costs extra. You got to pay these people,
And
right,
do.
for their
And do.
expertise. So I had to balance that out about, okay, I'm not buying this month. I'm not purchasing some frivolous stuff that I would normally purchase. Save up, my money, maybe get out here and do a couple of Postmates or DoorDash or whatever,
Right.
that extra money, and pay these people for the work that I need so my work can shine like I need it to,
I
you know?
period. The fact that invest in yourself, people.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself. And this is on a personal as well as entrepreneurial as well as career. You have to invest in yourself, whatever that looks like for you.
Mm-hmm.
Investing in your personal growth and development, investing in your business, investing in your career advancement, investing in just overall your wellness, period. Your
Yeah.
overall wellness is something that we have to do. Like, the days of us just trying to take on things by ourselves, and I work hard, don't get me wrong. Upgraded mindsets has definitely been, whew, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that you said, hey, I had to make these investments. And I agree, because although I am good at the administrative side, I don't want to handle everything. I don't want to burn myself out. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many different projects now going on to 4 years in the game. There's so many things that I do behind the scenes, that no, everything I'm not going to do. And I don't have no problem. Even when I do events, hey, I don't even got time to be putting tables together and stuff. I'm gonna pay somebody to do that stuff because I don't like that. So guess what? I'm gonna pay somebody to make
Right.
it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no
Yeah.
problem making that investment. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just important that you understand, people, that investing in yourself from a holistic standpoint, from your personal to your business to your, career, just your overall wellness is important. And being that factor, you're going to become such a more empowering version of yourself, because you're going to have clarity about what it is that you want to do from a
Yeah.
personal standpoint. You're going to be able to align your values. It's super important that you even know what your values are.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, which is why I help women on the transformational journey, because what I find is a lot of
Yeah.
women are operating in outdated thinking methods. They are operating in methods that they did
Okay.
growing up, that
Yeah.
their parents might have instilled, that their grandparents. And
Mm.
because we default and say, oh, well, my mom taught me this. Great. Great job, mom. But you still have to discover if that is still for you. Right. And,
Yeah.
and that's something that I teach within my reconditioning tools, because that's what we have to do. That is the first step for us to really know who we are, because that clarity is going to say, hey, I did this for 20 years. I don't want to do that no more. You might
Yeah.
want to go into a whole nother career once you gain some clarity about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurship ain't for everybody. And I
Right.
don't just work with entrepreneurs, but what I do is give you the tools to be clear about what it is so you can be unapologetic in whatever it is that you want to do. So
Yeah.
I love that, you have, with the book, and you have the podcast. So tell us a little bit more about the podcast before we finalize everything. Tell us a little bit more about what the podcast and what we can expect from it.
The podcast is actually, what you were speaking on, wellness. It's called
Mm,
Bags of Wellness, and it's geared more so towards, women, because a woman likes a good bag,
Hey, and do.
and what are they putting in their bags, right? They putting the stuff that they love and they like in their bag,
I
right?
love that.
So, get you a bag and throw some wellness in it as well. You know what I'm saying? So
Ooh,
that's what it's about. It's just really about, you know, feeling well and doing well without feeling guilty about it. I
yes.
really stress on the guilt and the shame about it. And like you were saying, well, my mom did that, so I'm gonna do that. And
Yep.
then we feel kind of guilty and ashamed because we're not in the kitchen cooking all day long. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We're
Come
not
on.
cooking for our significant others. What did you cook? Did you cook something? No, ma'am.
Okay.
They know how to cook. I'm trying to. I'm running a business in here. I
Yeah.
got other things that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So no, I didn't do that. So that traditional stuff, it kind of it goes out the window.
Yeah.
When you are trying to, do something grander for yourself, something that's just bigger, like you said, upgraded mindset. You know what I'm
Period.
saying? When you're
Period.
trying to upgrade yourself, you upgrade your mindset and you do stuff different. So I talk to people about my wellness journey and how to
Mm-hmm.
get started on the wellness journey, doing things slowly, not trying to rush and
Yeah.
push things and trying to hurry up and things like that. And really, I talk about acceptance. Accept the fact that you
Mm,
need to be well, you need to do
yes.
well, you need to go to the doctor and get your annual checkups. You know what I'm saying? You accept the fact that you need to, maybe go walk around the block, or, stop for 15 or 20 minutes during your day and just take some deep breaths.
Ooh,
Just simple stuff. Let's get back to the basics of taking care of ourselves. And I
I
know
love it.
time is what it is. Everything is a rush, social media and stuff. But you have to take care of yourself, and like you were saying earlier, your wellness and your overall well-being. So I just give like little nuggets that you can throw in your bag, and be well with it.
I love that, sis. I absolutely love that, y'all. Sometimes the little things matter. As I tell people, we say it's 24 hours in a day. I go deeper. My mentor told me 2 years ago, it's 1,440 minutes in a day. And I
Mm-hmm.
go off of that rhetoric every
Mm-hmm.
day because nobody can tell me that we don't have the time. You can't tell me that you don't have the time. Out of 1,440 minutes, you better take the time. There's no excuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go off that rhetoric now. I don't go off of an hour schedule. So I think that that's amazing, and I think that
Mm.
is great. We will definitely make sure that we put the podcast notes, the podcast link in the notes section here, y'all. But just finishing up here, what is one final tip that you recommend, to the women? And I do have some male listeners as well, but just one thing that you recommend, to help us continue on that personal growth journey and that wellness journey for us? What's one thing that you would, tip that you'd give out?
I would say stay true to you.
Hmm.
Stay true to yourself. If you on this journey and you figuring out and you find it out that you work well or you work better when you're true to you, stay true to you and be honest
Be,
with yourself. If you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna do it. If the answer is no, the answer is no. And along the way, you'll start to feel better when you stay true to yourself.
I love it, sis. Hey, powerful words to finalize, y'all. Let the listeners know where we can find you at, sis.
Well, you can find me. I am on Instagram at New Level Mindset. You can find me there. You can also find me on Facebook, a New Level Mindset. And my podcast is on the platform Podbean, Podbean.
Love
And
it.
you can type in bags of wellness and,
Period.
it'll pop up. It's there.
All right.
So,
All right. And like I said, we'll make sure that that link is in the podcast notes as well. So you guys will have easy access to that. Sis, I want to thank you so much for hopping on Empowering Real Talk. I have loved this conversation. Continue to do what it is that you do. If nobody has told you lately, I am proud of you. Keep doing what it is that you're doing. I'm super appreciative. And let's just keep empowering and inspiring everybody. I love it.
okay. Thank you so much. You as well. I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Well, y'all know where y'all can find me at Coach K Transforms. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure y'all have subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, everything else. Y'all know where y'all can find me. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Until next time, baby, stay empowered.